All right, welcome to Pure Truth Podcast. This is your host and producer, Lucas Bewley. And see if I can fix my camera real quick. Make this a little bit better. So, I went live earlier today, which that did not work out. I was trying, something different. I do apologize. I tried to put my mic somewhere, different, so you could see my face better. Well, that didn't really work out because then you couldn't really hear what I was saying. I later was able to watch the live, and you couldn't hear really hardly what I was saying, so I deleted it and I just put the camera somewhere else, so you can get a good look. Hopefully that helps those that jump on stay on, and kind of check out what I'm talking about. So today is Friday, which means topic of my choice. So I am choosing to talk about Bewley, a comedy series. I'm choosing to talk about my own book. And if you hadn't seen it yet, hopefully if you're watching live or if you're watching later, hopefully there will be in the chat section a link that you can go to, and it will lead you directly to my book, Bewley, a comedy series, season 1. And I am currently writing season 2. And so what is Bewley, a comedy series? It really is a comedy. And you would probably ask the question, why is it called Bewley? Well, Bewley is my last name, but it's not just, it's mainly a comedy series based on the Lord bringing me out of my Egypt and bringing me on to the promised land. And what I'm going to do here in this live, I'm going to explain how, what all, relates to that. Like how does Bewley, a comedy series, how does it, how is it a comedy series that tells my testimony and stuff like that? So first, I just want to say this series of books that I'm working on, this comedy series, is not the only series that I am working on. This is the first book that I published. I am working on another series. That's not a comedy series. I'm actually working on another book series along with this comedy series. That's actually going to be fictionary, and it's going to be loosely based on, or not. It's going to be, it's going to be kind of similar to The Lord of the Rings. If you've ever read Tolkien's writings, I believe he's probably the best author that has ever lived. I know that's my opinion, but I truly believe that. And so I hope that I can one day live up to be as good as a writer as Tolkien. And so, what this fictionary book that I'm working on, other than my comedy series, this fictionary book, with not giving too much away, is yes, similar to The Lord of the Rings. I'm hoping it will be similar. You would find similarities to that, from whenever um, whenever I get it done. And I'm actually working on, so I'm working on season 2 of Bewley, a comedy series, but I'm also working on the very first book of the fictionary book that I'm working on that's going to be similar to The Lord of the Rings. Oh, excuse me. I got some nasal issues going on right now. But so, and what my book, though, my fictionary book is mainly focused on, is writing kind of what kind of about writing about America, really, and kind of what how feminism has, exposing feminism in America, and well, also around the world, but mainly here in America because that's where I'm from. But then also exposing, lesbianism, and also kind of going through the, exposing or talking about the spiritual warfare in, like, all in that book that I'm working about. Hopefully that's not too much, but I do want to give some spoiler alerts, and that is so this book that I'm working on is, I've had the idea for this book for about like 10, 12 years. And so I knew 10, 12 years ago that I wanted to kind of like expose feminism and expose lesbianism in the United States. And kind of talk about what sin does to a nation, and also what it does to the individual. So, and I've had this idea for years. Now, if anybody has read The Lord of the Rings, you know that Tolkien has there's some sections of, like a map of Middle Earth. Well, I drew out a map in my book. I drew out a map that I'm going to, probably put at the beginning before you start reading, or maybe at the end, where you can kind of look at, kind of like a kind of see and kind of look at the map, so you can kind of see where the travels are, taking place, where, the where they're, traveling throughout the land. And I really like the maps from the Lord of the Rings. So this one is similar. It's similar. So But what I did was when I made this map, I um, downloaded pictures of, um, or I downloaded maps of places, places around the world, just like random, you know, uh, maps around the world, and then I kind of put them together, kind of like a puzzle, and then I traced around them. And what happened was the, and this was what I'm saying here is this was not planned. The um what the map looks like was not really planned at all. And because I just was like, when I created the map, I just put pieces together from, other maps of other areas together, and just traced around it to create my map. And all, and then, well, it just turned out to be, um, it turned out looking like the uh, America, which which is kind of funny, because it's like I had no plans to make my map look like America, but it just, you know I have for 10, 12 years now had this, plan that I was going to write about America. And you're gonna have to excuse my sniffles here. I don't know what's going on um, with that, but anyways, um, yeah, that's what I did, and I didn't have that plan. So and so that was accidental. But you got to ask yourself, well, because there has to be a purpose for it being accidentally, looking almost similar to the United States. um, I believe that was my confirmation moment that the Lord wants me to write this book. Um, that was, and I know you could be like, well, that doesn't really. I believe that. I mean, why? You gotta ask yourself why. Why? I mean, did that happen like that accidentally? Because I didn't really have it planned to make a map that looked like the United States. Um, Although, yeah, I'm writing about the United States, or at least feminism inside the United States, or, you know, um, it kind of is like confirmation, I believe, that God wants me writing this book. So, enough about that. I know I spent quite a bit talking about that book that I'm working on, and I'm working on that, and I'm also working on season 2 um, of Bewley, a comedy series, um, and so this is season 1, the only season that is out right now, and the only book published by me right now. So jumping into it, um, who are the characters in Bewley? There are a lot of characters in Bewley. One of the characters actually is named Bewley, who plays me. And then there's another character, Aaron, who I know from somebody that I know from a church that I went to down in South Central Illinois, and and a really good older friend, but really good friend. He's someone that I've gone to for advice before, and I've also gone to for prayer at certain times. And then I've known him for quite a while. And then there's Hamilton. Hamilton's another one that is real. I've known him almost since the beginning of when I first moved there. And so I kind of known him kind of like a brother. Now, brothers fight from time to time, and that's kind of not, fist fight, but kind of argue from time to time, and that's kind of what we've done. Aaron has kind of been that that person that has kind of brought us, back together, and he could testify to that. And so there's some parts in Bewley, a comedy series, season 1 already, where you kind of see Hamilton and the character Bewley kind of get and kind of put each other in headlocks from time to time. And Aaron kind of is the one, you see in Bewley kind of breaking that up. And that's kind of true to what Aaron has been. Hamilton, so each character that I've written about, I've tried to match their character, like being true in a way. So you got to understand that, yeah, some of it is fictional. So some things that I write about might not be true to their character necessarily, but there are some things in there that I tried to, make true to their character. And so just, you can tell, like when you read about Hamilton in Bewley, a comedy series, you're basically you're kind of getting the true character of Hamilton's character, and who he is, sort of. And then there is Austin. Austin is now the very first. I've high-fived Austin here and there. He's somebody else that I met through the church, and in fact, his father is actually, or was, the pastor from the church that I went to down in South Central Illinois. And so I would high five him every now and then when I saw him. But like I remember the very first day when our relationship really kicked off. I kind of forget exactly what it was that I was doing, but at the one thing that I remember is he was the one that introduced me to fantasy football. He brought me into the league that he was in as a co-owner. of his team. And I got to learn fantasy football through Austin. And so later on, one season, a year later, I would join that league, and I only joined it for maybe a couple years, but I remember the very first year that I joined that league, and I don't know if it would be beginner's luck or whatever, but um, I won the whole league, won the whole thing. So, but yeah, after that day, Austin and I, we kind of became pretty good, um, a fairly good relationship. And he's somebody also that is a little bit older than I am, um, by, quite a bit. I mean, not too much, but, um, and making these people sound old. Uh, but yeah, just a little bit older. Um, and don't forget, before I move on, to like, share with 3 people, comment if you want, and hit the subscribe button and then the notification button so you get notified when I go live. But yeah, like, Austin's a really good guy, and so yeah, I just remember the very first time, actually, the very first time that our relationship actually kicked off, and that was something. And so, before I name the last one, or no, not the last one, but before I go further, um, talking about fantasy football. So I spent a few years with that league um, before I joined Keep the Fire League. And Keep the Fire League, so Aaron is in Keep the Fire League, Hamilton is in Keep the Fire League, Austin is in Keep the Fire League, and one other person that I'm going to name shortly is also in Keep the Fire League. So I have at least 4 people that I write about that are in Keep the Fire League, and maybe others in later seasons. That's just, keep that in mind. There might be others that I might write about in other seasons that are from that league. Why? Because the university that I write about in Bewley, a comedy series, season 1, are in the other seasons as well. The university that is written about is, yes, fictionary, but the reason why it is called Blue Flames University is because it goes back to me being in that league. Keep the Fire League, Blue Flame, like, it's the university is kind of based off of that, right? So why would I base a university off of Keep the Fire League? Well, I kind of wanted to tell a little, background story of me kind of not doing very good in that league, and then just last year, I won the whole thing, the championship, everything. Um, so so Yeah, it's a little bit of a background story of my journey in that league to my journey to victory, I guess you could say. Um, but also don't forget that because something that I'm going to talk about later is how it's also a journey from God taking me out of my Egypt and into my promised land and my testimony and all that. And I'm going to get to that here in a bit. But so yeah, the Blue Flames University kind of tells a bit of a background story of me being in Keep the Fire NFL Fantasy Football League, and so I just kind of wanted to tell a little bit of that background story, um, and then so the fourth um, person that I put in this book is named character is named Logan, and Logan, um, he's another person that is not only in that league, but another person that I highly think of. Um, he's, I mean, what can I say about Logan? I don't know. He's a pretty cool person, a pretty good friend. Um, I've had the opportunity once or maybe even twice where Logan invited me um, to a concert that he was going to, and I also had the opportunity to. Uh, his parents are really cool parents. Like there's they'll host just about anybody at their house. And so I've had some opportunities to get to know Logan a little bit through that. I will say, yeah, I wish I would have been able to know Logan a little bit better, but at the same time, I like is he's still somebody that I know, pretty well, and somebody that's only been like I think one or two grade no, I think just only one grade um, graduated 1 year before I did, I think. Um, if I can remember that correctly. Um, but yeah, it's just I do remember times when I stayed at their house, and um and then all obviously, he's in that book for that reason, but then also he's part of the um Keep the Fire league. Um and so I just didn't feel like it would be right if I did not put Logan in Bewley, a comedy series. Um, I wanted to make a character, um, you know, that was named Logan. Now Logan, the character inside Bewley, a comedy series, um, owns a restaurant. Now Logan does not own a restaurant, um, but I just thought, well, that would be a good place to have them. Um, I just thought that would be kind of cool just to have Logan be a character of like an owner of her. So, anyways, and then the last one, uh, not the last character, but the last character that I put in my comedy series um, is Darren. Now, Darren is a pastor of or the church that I went to in um, South Central Illinois. They have lots of pastors. they got quite a few pastors, and he's just one of those pastors. And I have had the opportunity to kind of sit and have some pretty serious conversations with him, and just a lot of other get to know him through a lot of other things, especially through volunteering, and it just he's another really cool guy, and so he's a funny guy. So in Bewley, a comedy series, there's some parts where I have him kind of as the um, funny guy, I guess you could say. Where there's one episode where it's about Thanksgiving, and he dresses up as a turkey. I mean, because I can see Darren actually something that he probably would do, just for kicks, or and kind of what I'm trying to say is by that is that that's kind of true to his character, kind of silly like that. And so, and again, not everything would be 100% true to their character, but yeah, that would be something that would be a little true to his character. So Austin, the character that plays Austin also is he's the president of this university, and Darren would be the sports like director of the university, or the athletic director of the university, and and then Aaron and Hamilton would be coaches, would be like defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, and then obviously I would be the head coach. There's a character named Christine. There's a character named Christine. Now, Christine kind of plays. Now, the name Christine is fictional. She's mainly fictional. However, she does play a couple parts here. In Bewley, a comedy series, she kind of plays. She has like two roles that she plays. The first role that she plays is kind of like Jesus. You know how Jesus, like he gives you gifts, he gives you visions and dreams and such like that. And obviously, every person that follows Jesus knows that you can't really do it without him. And that's something that you're going to find in Bewley, a comedy series, is that starting right off the bat, he has never won a game, never ever won a game, and has a hard time, very very hard time recruiting, um, until Christine comes on the scene. Then she is somehow um, able to recruit people that are really good. And then she lays kind of, you see where she kind of lays out a path for Bewley. Um, and, I'm not going to spoil that part, but she kind of lays out the path, kind of similar to what God does and what Jesus does, is he will kind of give you parts and pieces of the direction and where you're headed and stuff, and you don't always understand that. So one of the things that I did is I came up with something, and not going into huge detail of it. I kind of, Christine kind of explains what that something is, and does it make sense? No, it does not make any sense at all of how it would work. But that's sometimes the walk with the Lord, is sometimes we don't know how it's going to work. Sometimes it sounds completely different than what we thought, or just hopefully you know what I'm trying to say there. But like the Lord sometimes um, he doesn't make things very clear, but he does that because he wants us to. He's kind of like a father that plays hide and seek with his child. Um, Kind of gives us things, and we don't. It doesn't make sense at the time. Sometimes it does not make sense. And the something that I'm talking about here, that Christine, the character Christine, is telling Bewley, um, does not make sense. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense on how it's going to work. But yeah, I just want you guys to know that I did that on purpose. I kind of did that on purpose because sometimes, yeah, in our walk, we kind of don't really know how it's all going to work out and stuff like that. And sometimes God throws curveballs and stuff, and it doesn't go exactly how we thought. And so there's that. She also, the second role that she plays is a relationship that I had back in 2017. I met a girl, a foreign girl, and I mean, out of my own stupidity and foolishness, yeah, we kind of got underneath the sheets, um, and so I can talk about that now because it's a part of my testimony. I don't like that. I don't really. It's not something that I like talking about, but it's something that I'm going to talk about because I'm not ashamed of talking about it. It's in the past. It's done over with. right? And it's just a part of my testimony. So yeah, I kind of put that in here inside Bewley, a comedy series. You're gonna see that. You're gonna see um, how we had a relationship like that. Um, so she kind of plays that role. Although I will say, like, her name isn't actually the name that of the woman that I dated back then, but she kind of plays that role. Um, and then um, there's another name. This character's name is Elaine. Now, Elaine is another name that is fictionary, and she also kind of plays two separate roles, or actually a few. She kind of actually plays um, how do I say this? High school sweets. Kind of like high school sweet. When I was in high school, or in senior in high school, I had quite a bit of high school sweets. So she plays one, high school sweets, and then two, she also kind of has a role of just there other than high school sweets, there have been other girls that I've had crushes on. So she kind of plays that role as well. But then she's also a character that kind of is meant to be kind of like a prophetic character. What I mean by that is, yeah, I do believe that someday that when I meet the one that the Lord has, um, and I don't know if her name would be Elaine or not, but um, I do believe that is somewhat prophetic, um, because I do believe that one of these days the Lord will lead me to marriage, um, and without going into a whole lot of detail there, but um, yeah, I kind of wanted to do something kind of like tell a little bit of a prophetic, um, what possibly is going to happen on when I get to my promised land there. So um, yeah, I do believe she kind of plays a little bit of a prophetic character for me, in anyways. Um, and so um, going on to the character Olivia. Olivia is another character that's made up fictionary name, fictionary name. Olivia plays Bewley's daughter in Bewley, a comedy series. She plays Bewley's daughter, which I going back to saying that Bewley is actually me. She kind of plays Bewley's daughter. Now, yeah, going back to the relationship that I had, I mean, I don't know whether or not I have a daughter or not, but um, Olivia in Bewley, a comedy series, she kind of plays the role of the possibility, just the possibility of being, because I can see where it could be possible. Now I don't know that, but I can see where there could be a slight chance that maybe I have a child. And I don't really know that for sure. So, but again, I just wanted to, put her in there as the possibility, because it's the child, because you got to understand that the character Olivia is Christine's child, and so, and then Christine is supposed to represent the relationship that I had with this woman from um, another country that I met, um, and and so yeah, um, Olivia in Bewley, a comedy series, uh, plays Bewley's daughter and the daughter of Christine. Um, so I mean, with that said, I mean, there you have it. That's, kind of in a nutshell, what Bewley, a comedy series, is all about. There's also some things in there of what happened as a childhood, kind of smaller things um, of what happened as a childhood. So, like, for instance, just sharing one thing, um, in Bewley, a comedy series, Bewley's daughter Olivia gets in a car wreck. She gets in an accident inside the university parking lot. Now, that is um, based on my first accident that happened inside the high school parking lot. That was where my first accident happened. And so I just, so there are some things like that where it just, you get a short, small little glimpse of what happened in my childhood, kind of growing up. Um, and so yeah, and then in the later seasons, yeah, of course, there's probably going to be other people that I characters that are actually have also played a pretty significant role, possibly, um, and so that will be mentioned in Bewley, a comedy series. Um, and so yeah, that's Bewley, a comedy series. Now don't forget to hit that thumbs up, share this with 3 people, and subscribe, and then ring the bell notification so you know when I am going live. That's Bewley, a comedy series. That's mainly Bewley, a comedy series. This is a copy of the book that is published on Amazon. And if you're watching this now, I have that link up. When you watch this later, um, hopefully I can get that link up in the chat so it's there when you rewatch. And so I just got to say again once more before I get off, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, share with 3 people, um, subscribe, and ring the bell notification. Thank you. And just remember to join me for my next live, which is shortly. It's in close to an hour. I'm doing a Bible study in the book of Genesis. So hope that you join me for that live stream. Thanks.